Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of the Hanging with Mark and Dougie show. I am your co host, Dougie Almeida. Mark is actually in the middle of closing a big cash deal, so he's going to be joining us here shortly in a minute. And you wouldn't believe this, but I guess all my Twitter rants and all our how we've been bashing this guy on this show, Mark and I, this poor guy, President Biden, he actually watches the Hanging with Mark and Dougie show, and he's pissed. He doesn't like all the bad press he's getting from us. So we have through our technology to the White House, we have special guest, President Joe Biden. What's up,
How
Mr.
you
President?
doing
Yeah.
there? You know what?
Sir,
You don't give me a fair shake, and I want to talk corn pop. I mean, I want to talk about what you said at your last show. You said some things that weren't right.
yeah, what was that, Mr. President?
Well, you always say that my economy's crashing, and there's a lot of good things. If you look, applesauce has actually went down 6 cents. Applesauce. So there's some things
Applesauce.
that you're not looking at. Yes, applesauce.
Well, applesauce is kind of hard. You can't really fuel your car, Mr. President. You can't go to work with applesauce. How often do you eat applesauce, Mr. President?
Well, Jill feeds me applesauce at least twice a day, and it's very delicious. I've been eating applesauce for a while, and that's why I can do 50 push-ups. How many push-ups can you do, fat boy?
Well, I mean, there's no reason to get personal, Mr. President. I could do 25 push-ups easily, of course.
Well, we
And you
can
know
do
what? I
push-up
can.
practice anytime you like. Anytime you
Yes.
like.
Yeah, well, that's okay. But I'd like it. Well, it's amazing that you do so many push-ups and you're so bright. Yet, why is it your staff has to give you notes on where to sit, where to stand, what to say? I mean, that's
Well,
not very reassuring for the American public, Mr. President.
well, the reason why I have notes is because I want to be exact with the American people. The people, the last president, wasn't exact on things, and he would just go, what's the, oh,
You
God,
okay,
that
Mr.
was
President?
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
need a
yeah. The
pill?
last president said the last. Hey, hold on a second. All right, the last president didn't have notes, and he wasn't as good as I was. I'm much better than he was.
Well, there's a lot of people that would disagree with you on that, sir, considering the current inflation, gas, everything's so pricey. And you thought, sir, you said inflation will go away. You said it won't be a big deal. Calm down. You had everything. You said you're going to vanquish the virus, yet that we still have the
There's a
virus.
plan. There's a plan going on right now. The virus is all Trump's fault. All Trump's fault. If it wasn't for the
Really?
Trump, there'd be no COVID. It's Trump, 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 Trump. Okay, that's
Yeah.
the guy you should be looking at. That's the guy. I know he hasn't been president in a year and a half, but that's the guy you have to look at. Me, this is all deflection. I'm doing wonderful things. Wonderful things. There's nice things I'm doing. You don't know
Yeah.
everything, but I'm doing nice things.
What would be another nice thing you'd like to share with the American public that you want us to know about that you've done?
I don't have any mean tweets. All my tweets are lovely. I love the Chinese and the black people. I'm very fond of them. Our last president was not, and I'm doing a lot of good things for them. Just the other day, I opened the door for an African American person. I did. I opened the door for him.
Well, that's nice to do for anybody. I mean, you would expect to do that. Mr. President, speaking of
But let's
China,
talk about let's forget about all this stuff we're talking about. Let's talk about the real problem. Donald
what's that?
Trump is the real problem. He's the real problem. January 6th is a very big deal. Everything else that's going on is nothing. January 6th is everything. That he almost destroyed America, and I'm fixing it. I'm building America back better. Back better.
Well, I don't know how many people consider this better, Mr. President, but do me a favor. Here's one note I need for you, Mr. President. Please face more forward to the camera because we not. There you go, sir. Thank you. You keep bringing up Trump. Trump is not around. Trump isn't. I mean, who even knows if he's? Are you going to run again? The question everybody wants to know: are you going to run in 2024? Half your
I'm
party
glad
doesn't
you
even
said
want to
that.
talk
You
about
know
it.
why Trump is not around? You know why Trump is not around? Because I beat him. I beat him fair and square. I whooped his butt. The American people needed change. Change. Oh, yeah. The American people needed change, and I had 50 cents. I had 75 cents change, yes. Oh, and I'm going to bring change. I'm bringing change to America.
I think Obama
And you've
tried to
got
use that quote. Your former president, you were vice president for, was the one said he was the one that was his big slogan, change. And I don't. You've been accused of paraphrasing and stealing people's lines. You had to walk out of the presidential campaign because you got caught stealing, sir.
Not
How
true.
would you
Not
like to answer
true.
that?
They stole my
No?
lines. They stole my lines. But I know it was after they said their lines, but I was thinking of them first. I was thinking those lines, and they said them. So they kind of
Mhm.
stole them from me, to be honest with you.
You lied about where you
And let
finished
me
in
tell
your
you
class.
something. Me and Hunter, let
Yeah.
me tell you something. Me and Hunter have big plans, man. He's going to help me out and fix this country. Me and Hunter, he's going to fix it. My son is he's trying real hard.
Oh yeah, yeah. I saw the videos of him smoking crack. And let me ask you. I mean, also in
No,
some
that
of the
wasn't
things on
crack.
his
That wasn't crack. That wasn't crack. It
wasn't
wasn't
crack.
crack. It
What
was a
was it?
pipe. It looked like a crack pipe. He's into smoking cigarettes out of glass pipes. I don't know why. It's weird. He says it brings less nicotine in his body. I know it
Yeah.
looks like white smoke, but it's not crack. And he
Yeah. I
wasn't
think you
naked.
buy
It
that.
wasn't naked.
No, well, I mean, I think you could buy that, and there was some talk. Your daughter put out something in her memoirs and her diaries that was found that you used to shower with your daughter, which that's
Well, you
not
got to make
right. I
sure
mean,
they're clean. You got to make sure they're clean. They miss spots. Even up to like 16 and 17 years old, sometimes they'll miss an armpit or they'll miss a kneecap. I want to make sure it's thorough. What's wrong with showering a 16-year-old daughter? Your 16-year-old daughter. I don't
well,
find a
there's a
problem with
lot
that.
wrong with that, sir. There's a lot wrong with that, and I'm glad that you admitted that here because she never she never mentioned how old she was, but the fact that she remembered made it uncalled for. You mentioned your son Hunter, who's now under investigation and who the walls are closing in on. And you are now you lied. You said you never had discussions about his business dealings. Yet there's a recording of you talking to him or leaving a message
That's Trump.
asking about his
That's
business
Trump.
dealings. That was
Let's
you,
get
sir.
let's get to the true problem. Let's get to the true problem. Trump. Everything that's I'm allegations, whether it be showering with my daughter or anything, is Trump's fault. It's all Trump's
What
fault.
would
It's not
Trump,
my fault.
sir? What would Trump have to do with showering with your daughter decades ago?
Can we talk about something else, please? I mean, right now I'm up to here with you, Doug, because you're talking about something so small, and we have big problems in this country. We have real problems
Yeah,
that
we
the
do.
last president. He's sharing
I
with my
agree.
daughter, and my son smoking crack is really no concern of yours. People make
Well,
mistakes.
it's concern of the entire country. But since you said it, let's talk about what is big. Nancy Pelosi. You suggested to Nancy Pelosi to bow down to the Chinese by not going to Taiwan to visit. Are you compromised by the Chinese? Is there a reason you're so soft on the Chinese?
Well, you know what? Talking about Chinese, I had Chinese food yesterday, and you know what? If you get the la mein and you get it soft, it's not crunchy. It's actually pretty good. I remember back in the day when I had my first Chinese egg roll. It was delicious, and we had it. Me and Jill, we sat down, we ordered. It was, I think it was, it was, it was. I believe it was in Philadelphia. We had the Chinese food. I'm sorry. What was the question?
My question, sir, is like, are you compromised by the Chinese? There's actually an investigation to wrongdoing, money received from the Chinese government, leaders of energy companies there that you sold some of this oil from our strategic reserve. You're selling our strategic reserves away to the Chinese. I mean, what is that about?
I'm only giving the information they already know. I'm not giving them a lot of information. It's very small information. Listen, we got to get along with everybody. When Trump did it and he got along and he bowed down to North Korea because we was worried about the missiles, everybody loved him. But when I do it and I want to get along with everybody, then there's an issue. I don't see a problem
Sir,
with a communist China. I
there's
don't
a
foresee.
big
And
difference
listen,
between
my
crossing.
son earned every penny in Ukraine. All 3 million. He earned every penny. He's a very smart guy, by the way.
Yeah,
One
well,
of the
he's under
smartest people I know.
investigation, and there's a lot saying that you are the big guy in all those
Talking about
transcripts of
investigation, Trump needs to be investigated for January 6th.
again,
He needs to
again.
he needs to go down. He's got away with a lot of things. We need to take care of Trump. You know what, Doug? Your name is Doug, right?
Yes,
I
sir.
think I'm done with questions right now. If you want to talk about real questions like how I fought corn pop in 1960 at the pool, let's talk about it because I'm a tough guy. I'm really tough. I'm a lot tougher than you. So if you don't
Well,
want to
I,
ask the serious questions about me and
well,
corn pop, then I'm done. You know what?
sir.
I'm out of here. I've had enough. One last question, and I'm out of here.
Well, I mean,
And it
one
better be
last
something
question,
that makes
sir.
sense.
Are you gonna? Are you? Everybody wants to know. Are you going to run in 2024 for the American presidency?
Mm. I have to ask AOC if I'm allowed. If she says I can, and Nancy
Yeah.
Pelosi says I can, I will. I mean, I have to have, you got to have permission to run. I mean, we're equally running the country, me, AOC, and Pelosi and Schumer. So if we want to do this again, maybe we'll throw Brock in the mix and we'll run it together. We'll run it as a team. Like, if you're on a road team, 5 guys.
Yeah, well, it's funny how if you're on a road team, you always like being in the back. But you mentioned Barack Obama. Some people say that he's the one actually running the country right now, and that you're just sitting on his lap and taking his orders. What do you say to that?
Let me tell you a story about Corn Pop, because we're not going anywhere in this. Everybody said that I didn't run things, and then I went to that school, and let me tell you something. I had 3 guys on me, and Corn Pop was a bad dude, bro. He was a bad dude. And let me tell you something about Corn Pop. You know what? I'm done. I'm out of here. Bye. I can't take this.
I'm surprised he moves so fast. Well, thank you for putting the mic back. Well, I hope Mark comes back.
What the hell happened? Oh my God. What the hell happened? This
he
guy just
destroyed
ran
your
out of
studio.
here. Oh my, no, he was mad. Oh my God. What'd you say to him, Doug?
I just said that.
See you later, Mr. Biden. He's leaving now. You pissed him off.
Yeah, well, he was, he's giving me a bunch of bullshit, dude. I mean, come on. It was amazing that he happened to be in your store. What did he buy? Did he buy something at the store?
Well, he came in because he thought it was a dollar store. He wanted to buy Depends. And then he found out. And then I said, while you're here, do you mind doing an interview? And he goes, well, what is it for? And then I told him it was for the Hanging with Mark and Dougie. And then he was really fired up about you. He's seen the show. And he said, you don't give him a fair shake. He said, I do. Well, he says, Mark, you're very fair with me, but Doug's a little too much. Yeah.
You sure he,
I don't know why.
Does he know which one of us is Mark and which one of us is Dougie?
Maybe not. Maybe not. But
he was
very pleased with me. He was very pleased with me.
Yeah. Okay.
But hey, listen, that was kind of cool, man. We had the great Joe Biden. I mean, he's the president of our country, whether you like it or not. He's the president. And he was here at our little studio. So, hey, listen, we're catching on. If we have Joe Biden on our studio, we're catching on.
An exclusive interview right here.
Exclusive.
I think I handled it very. I think I handled it very professionally. I tried not to laugh my ass off during
He was fired up. I've never seen him like that.
Yeah. Well, welcome back. I'm glad you're here.
I listened to some of his answers. He made a lot of sense. I thought he was okay. I didn't think he was that bad.
Yeah. He challenged me, Mark. I mean, who do you think would win in a fight, me or Joe Biden?
I mean,
you have to think about it. You have to think about it.
I would give you the edge. I would definitely give you the edge. But
dude, it would last under 15 seconds. I would assure you, if for some crazy reason I was able to get in the ring with President Biden and not be charged for assault or anything, it was just a fair boxing match. The first would be
I'll be honest with you, the fact that you're saying you're saying it's 15 seconds doesn't say much for you. I mean,
because
I can't imagine that be 2 seconds.
No, it would probably take me about 8 seconds to get across the ring to him, because he's not going to come out of the ring. He's going to stand in his corner, like.
Here's a good question. Now, seriously, who do you think wins in a fight between Trump and Biden? 3-round fight.
Oh, at this point, I think it would be Trump at this point.
Yeah.
We asked that question on my podcast back when they were running against each other, and he wasn't. It would be like, I don't know. It'd be tough because neither one of them are physically that capable. You know what I mean?
The reason why I would take Trump, not that because I like him, and I do like him, but he's got the weight. Definitely has the weight on him. Okay, he's kind of an athlete. He played football in high school, and I think Biden might have too. But he's more capable with his mind. Like your reflexes is your mind. So if you have slow mind, you have slow reflexes. Trump's got a quick mind. You would think he has quick reflexes. So
you think you think President Trump, you think President Biden would have somebody with notes behind him saying, "Put your left hand up, sir. Put your right hand up, sir.
Watch, jab, breathe."
Yeah, don't forget to breathe.
All right, man. After that exciting stuff, let's start the show, man, because Biden took a little bit more time than I thought he was gonna. He wouldn't get up.
Well, it was interesting. That's an exclusive.
It was. I loved it. I became a fan. I'm actually a fan now. He handled you very well, Doug. He handled you very well.
Listen,
that was good.
I'm not a professional broadcaster. What am I? Am I trying out for PBS, NPR? I don't know. Anyway, you got our first story.
Yeah, man. Let's start right now, man. Democrats top candidates to run in 2024: Pete Buttigieg, Elizabeth Warren, and Gavin Newsom. What a bunch that is! Now, who's the best out of those 3? Who's the best out of those 3? That's like saying, what do you like more? Shit, fucking dirt. What's the best out of those 3?
I mean, this is their fuck. I mean, right? They're the number one who's now polling above Biden is Peter Buttigieg, And, I mean, this guy, I mean, let's face it, out of his entire administration, there's at least 4 people in his current cabinet that will go down to some of the worst in history. Number one, Kamala Harris as the vice president. Her staff are leaving. Everybody's horrible. She was so far down on the list. Could you imagine the vice president? And then, of course, Pete Buttigieg, who's done nothing. He's doing something about racist highways, and I get in the past they had certain highway. Yeah, okay. But that's the big problem. That's the big problem. Forget about potholes and decrepit bridges and shit. It's the racist highways that he's going to talk about.
Exactly what is a racist highway? What is exactly a racist highway? Explain to me.
That's a street that keeps saying the N-word. It's just a street that just says, "What's up?"
I mean, all the problems we have in America. What's a racist highway? I need to know right now.
Yeah, everything. Well, listen, there is truth in the sense that when they were creating roads, they would have certain roads go into certain neighborhoods and not like trucks, low. And it may have seemed that way after, but I had somebody who's into that is into like a how do you say, an engineer for roads and stuff. If certain parts of the area don't have as much money in the budget where they collect real estate taxes, because if you have a neighborhood that isn't really paying a lot in real estate taxes, to build a road that has higher columns and stuff may be affected. So whether it was racist or not, or just had to do with the bottom line dollar, that's yet to be seen. But yeah, there's some.
That's always been. It has nothing to do with color. It has to do with you want the proper roads going to the proper places. I mean, I don't think it has to do with racism. You want a road going to a major big city where there's lots of money more than a road going to Martin Luther King Boulevard to get a Doritos at the gas station.
But again, that's the point. I mean, is that really the biggest problems we have on our road systems today? Fuck no. It's bridges. It's expansion. I mean, come on, man.
Things are collapsing. Things are actually collapsing. That's the problem.
Yeah. So Elizabeth Warren. Oh my God. Could you imagine if this witch became president? Oh,
she'd be worse than Biden. She'd be worse than Biden.
Oh, dude, the world. Listen, if Elizabeth Warren ever became president of the United States, the stock market would go down 95%.
Oh yeah.
The economy would go into a fucking free fall. And I would tell you that anybody if that ever happened, I would tell you that if you voted for her, hide because they're coming for you. This is when there will be a true civil war, when you get somebody like that. Pete Buttigieg, Elizabeth.
I'm going
Warren.
to tell you right now, you don't have to worry about Elizabeth Warren because she is hated more than Hillary Clinton by women. Yeah. I mean, you won't. Elizabeth Warren couldn't even get 10% when she ran against other knuckleheads in the Democratic Party. I mean, I don't think you'll have a problem with Elizabeth Warren. Buttigieg is probably their number one guy you have to worry about. I don't have Gabo Newsom's a retard. I mean, what he did to California, I don't think he has a shot of getting elected. I mean, how much people in California don't like him.
How funny was it when he was putting ads here in Florida to come to California, and people are fucking leaving in droves?
Everybody's flying. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
he has no shot
okay. No, I mean, he's just a complete puppet, to say the least. And Gavin Newsom. I mean, they have nobody. They really have nobody. And the Republican Party has a few people. Obviously.
Who's running for the Republican Party? I want to hear.
Well, nobody's really announced yet. I mean, Pence came out today and made a comment that he might throw his name into the hat. Trump may. I've already said this, and I'll go on record. I hope he doesn't. I just rather not have to go through that. Yeah. As much as I like what he had done and the policies and all that shit he stood for, I just don't think the world has to change. This country has to grow up a little bit before they'll let him be president again. DeSantis, of course, has made some, and everybody's calling a favorite. In a poll, he would beat Trump. And I know you don't want him to leave, dude. You're like, don't leave Florida.
I don't want him to leave, but I don't think he's leaving anyway. I mean, he's got a good gig right here, and I don't think he's leaving.
Well, what happens if he loses? Isn't he up? Isn't he going to be? Don't we have in 2022?
He's not losing.
Isn't he on the ballot this year for the midterms?
Yes. He's not
so we'll see. I mean, he's not losing to this one cuckoo. Who's the lady? The black lady who used to be a chief of police and stuff. She's a little too militant. She's running for him, and this other woman who's on Facebook that has just a little more followers than I do is running against him. And I troll her comments. I can't remember her name, but this one woman that's running against him, just completely horrible. All right, let's get to some stories.
Let's get to the stories real quick.
This is your story. This is the story that you and I kind of talked about. Now we're talking about, but incarcerated transgender woman Demi Minor impregnates 2 inmates at the New Jersey prison. What can go wrong if
So
we put a man who thinks he's a woman in a woman's prison?
exactly.
Those two should be in
I mean,
prison.
we already have sodomy already with men on men. So we know there's going to be more, there's going to be more problems. But the funny thing about it is, here's the problem, America. It's 2022. I get it. You don't know what gender you are. I get it. But you better find out what gender you are in prison. You better find out what gender you are. Otherwise, you get knocked up. Listen, these girls found out what gender he was when he pulled out his 8-inch schlong and smacked him in the head with it. They found out his gender real quick,
I don't
and that's
recall.
the problem, man.
I don't recall seeing the size of his penis in the story. But yeah, I mean, and now there's the thing. I mean, I guess if you're in a woman's prison and then you find out, oh, your bunkmate's a dude, I guess you're gonna have fun, and you can't blame him. I mean, you can't blame him,
No.
But somebody should ask him, do you still feel like a woman now that you're impregnated two other women?
Yeah.
I mean, if you think you're a woman, like that's what your mind says. I mean, you say you're a woman, yet you impregnated, which meant you mounted these women, got behind them doggy style, did something. You mounted them. You went bareback and you ran right in there and you Peter North all in there. And then you're a woman though. See, if you were really a woman, you'd be like, no, I can't do that. I just got the largest clit on earth.
Here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing, Doug. If you want to play these games that you want to play in the local schoolyard and you want to play them in the local streets, you want to say, oh, I'm a man, you can't play this in real life. Okay. In real life, it doesn't work. And this just shows you it doesn't work. Okay. Men are men and women are women. This guy pretended to be a woman. He was a man who's transgender, but he got someone pregnant. A woman can't get a woman pregnant. So there's the difference. A man can get a woman pregnant. A woman can't get a man pregnant. So he is now a man. So they could scissor otherwise. But so here's the issue.
It doesn't matter how hard you scissor. It doesn't matter how hard you scissor. You'll never impregnate another woman.
So guys, this is why there's 2 genders. There's not 3, there's not 4, there's not 5, there's not 6. There's 2. There's men and there's women. There's men that want to be women. There's women that want to be men, but that's not a gender. That's not. That's just wishing what you want. I want to be Brad Pitt. It ain't working out. It's not working out. So.
You'd have a better chance being a woman first. I think so. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, but this is it. This is it. This is the absurdity. Someone asked me about wokeness and how it affects comedy and stuff. And this is the absurdity of this wokeness. Like there's 800 genders and all this shit. No, there is. The average person who's just trying to feed their family and make a living and take care of the security of their family is looking at this going, enough already. Yeah. If you think you are a this, that, or whatever the gender is, then go ahead, be it. Go ahead, be it. And you know what? If somebody wants to put it on a driver's license, this is the where since shit gets. You're going to allow like I guess X. No, now some states are allowing X instead of male or female. MRF, it's X, which means you have to explain it. That's the way it should be. Fine, you're an X. You're an X. You're an X gender. Okay, what are you? I don't give a shit. Here's your ticket.
Exactly.
Just a wake up.
So there's now this is real life. Like I said, this is real life. And this is where I kind of laugh at. I love when this happens. Shit like this happens. I smile. I was smiling all day when I read this because, liberal America is a bunch of fucking stu-nuts, and they're like, oh, we have all these genders and then it backfires. I love when a great plan backfires, and this backfired and it blew up in their face. So,
So she's a woman that got 2 women pregnant, right? Is that possible?
Yep.
Well, speaking of women, in sports, women, the women's Olympic national soccer team, the WNBA, all these women's sports, we want to be paid equally like the men. Mark, tell us simply why that's not possible.
Well, Doug, don't you want to be paid the same as much as Eddie Murphy and Chris Rock?
Yes.
Why aren't you? But why aren't you getting paid as much as Eddie Murphy and Chris Rock? Why?
Talent.
You're funny. You're a funny guy.
But
you don't have the audience, Doug. You don't have millions and millions of people coming to see you. That's the problem.
The following. The following. Nowadays, let's call it a following. You get paid. It's clear, like you just said with comedy and a lot of stuff. It's your following that dictates or predicates your pay.
And I personally think you're as funny as any of them, but you don't have the following. And that's the point with the WNBA. Okay. First of all, you're a funny guy. The WNBA is not fun to watch. You know what? I watched it for 3 minutes because I was too lazy to change the channel. I didn't have the remote controls in another room, and the WNBA game came on. It was like it was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. They were missing layups, and they were like the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I could beat them. I can beat people in the WNBA. I'm a decent basketball. I think I could beat them. They're so untalented. They're so untalented. Okay, and you know what? If you want to support them, you females that are crying, go to a fucking game. You know what? Instead of going to a cooking show or doing whatever, go to a WNBA game. Only thing you ever seen a WNBA game is a butch girl with a hat backwards. That's all you ever see. There's like 9 people in the crowd. And they're all butch and they're all wearing backwards hats like me. Okay, so that's what you get with the WNBA. You know, there's a reason why the top players paid like $9 an hour because nobody's watching it. Nobody's watching the WNBA. Nobody cares. They don't care. Now, if you women want to start supporting and coming, they'll get more money. It's on you, women, not on the men. It's on you.
Yeah, support you. You talk it all up. You raise flags. You make all kinds of fucking comments, and go watch a game. Go watch a WNBA. Go get season tickets. Get season tickets. Get all your
friends. Only like $11. They're only like $11 for season tickets
for the whole
it's not
season.
Like it's expensive. Yeah, exactly.
$11 for the whole season, courtside.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I like you. Same thing with me. I can watch women's soccer. Women's soccer has a certain talent level. And plus, I love the game, honestly, compared to I love basketball. I love watching games like basketball, soccer, hockey because they're fluid, right? So, but you know, I can watch a women's soccer game, especially they had the UEFA Cup, which had all these
Americans Cup,
are great at soccer.
Women,
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
But the talent level you can watch because compared to some men, they actually pass the ball more. There's less ego.
Yes.
So it's entertaining. But like you, I was trying to watch a WNBA game one night at a bad hotel that only had certain channels. I'm like, oh, this is horrible, man. I'd rather watch like middle school basketball.
I'm going to make it real simple for you, Doug. The 3 things that I can watch women do, okay, it's real simple. Number one is UFC.
Masturbate.
No, it's close. Number 1 is UFC. They're great. 2, soccer, and 3 is porn. Women are so much better at porn than men. There's something about it. They look better. They perform better. Yeah. So, you know, they make more. Listen, that's why Jenna Jameson makes $1 million to do one anal scene. And then the typical gay guy that's doing it gets $9.52 in a Pizza Hut. She gets a pizza and $9. Yeah. But there's a difference because men want to see women and they don't want to see men. So that's why. So it works both ways.
Yeah. So don't get mad at us, ladies. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Don't get mad at us. Get mad at yourselves, for God's sakes.
Exactly.
Our next story. This is great. Ricky Williams, the women's. He won the Heisman. Now he's high man. Go meet the pot smoking ex NFL legend.
I love him. I love Ricky Williams. I met him. I did a signing with him. Super guy.
Yeah.
Weird. Oh my God. Talk about weird. One of the weirdest human beings I've ever met.
This now, for those of you, especially Miami Dolphin fans, would know he walked away from the sport. Because he failed his pot test. I had marijuana in the system. Go figure.
The Ravens.
And right, and then when it happened when he was with the Ravens, and then and remember that that's right. And then he left the game, and then he came back to play for the Dolphins. Dolphins took him in, right?
No, he went to the Ravens after the Dolphins. He went to the Dolphins and the Ravens.
No, but when he left football, he was with the Dolphins.
Ravens. Last team he played was the Ravens.
I didn't ask. I said, but when he left football for weed and he came back, he played with the Dolphins. He was playing with the Dolphins when he left.
He left several times. Yes. He left
he left when he was at the Dolphins. And he actually came back to the Dolphins. And he actually had some good – and when he came back, he actually did well. You know what I mean? Listen, great business. And here's a guy who found his calling. You know, to me, it's always impressive when a former professional athlete finds a new way. You know, whether they go into an announcing – they go into their own business. There's a lot of professional ex-ball players of sites that became politicians and stuff. You know, because listen, it's not easy to transition. Could you imagine how hard it is to spend your whole life doing something like sports and now you got to go get a job? Like, you know what I mean? Run a business. I mean, that's not easy. So congratulations.
And he's not the type of person. He's not the type of person that would come from sports to go be an announcer or something like that. He doesn't have that personality. He's very shy. He's quiet. He's a smart guy. Very smart. People think he's not smart because he talks slow. He's very timid, but he's very smart. Very cool guy. Very, very humble. Very good guy. A little weird. He's on the weird side, but very good guy. Like, I am a fan of Ricky Williams. Always have been. And if the Dolphins didn't fucking kill him and give him the ball 58 times a game, he'd still be in the NFL. They just brutalized the guy. They really did. Every play was.
I agree. Here's our next story, Mark. Your favorite. Who's your favorite mayor of a big city?
Favorite mayor of a
Yeah.
big city. I love Lightfoot. Oh, she's great.
Yeah.
She's doing so
There
much
you
for the
go.
population.
Well, she's trying to
that's
keep
that's sarcasm, by the way.
if you couldn't tell. She's actually doing what she can to try to keep the Chicago Bears in Chicago. I don't know if there's talk about Chicago Bears leaving Chicago because of the the problems in the city. I mean, did you ever hear anything about that? Is there any truth to them
I
potentially
haven't heard.
leaving?
No, I haven't heard anything about that. I mean, I assumed the Chicago Bears left 20 years ago. I watched them play football, and I assumed that they left 20 years ago. They're so bad.
Yeah.
Like I assume that they're not there anymore. So yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, maybe they are. I don't know.
I haven't watched Chicago Bears since Jim McMahon left in the fridge.
Oh yeah,
Remember when they
they're,
all
they're
played?
hard to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Lori Lightfoot is like now pleading, like, "Hey, let's do some, coming up with some ideas on how to build a dome, perhaps on Soldier Field, and so, let's do all kinds of spend some other money. We don't care if people are dying on our streets. Just make sure we got a dome over our fucking."
I got a better
over
idea.
our
Instead of
stadium.
buying a dome, how about get a good player that can actually win a game? You know what? Everything gets solved when you win. When the Heat started winning, they were sold out. When the Marlins won, they sold out. How about instead of spending millions of dollars and billions of dollars buying stadiums and taxpayers' money that I don't give a fuck, how about getting a good team? I guarantee you, if the Chicago Bears have a good team, I guarantee you they'll have fans and they'll stay. I guarantee it. And that's the problem. We should concentrate more on building a good team.
Yeah. Well, let's make sure that message gets to her, by the way. So good luck with that.
Hopefully she's
Lori
listening.
Lightfoot.
Hey, if Joe Biden's listening, maybe she's listening. You never know.
You never know. Now, this is interesting. A lot going on with astronauts in the space system. Russia just announced they're no longer going to co-op with the United States in the space station. They're going to build their own space station. Hopefully, it's with better materials than the equipment that's getting the shit ripped out of it by the Ukrainians. But astronauts are now warned not to masturbate in space, as one session can impregnate 3 women. Can you imagine? You go up there, you're a virgin astronaut, and you've never impregnated a woman, and you're a little bored, as you're flying around in the space station. I mean, it's got to be fun to masturbate in weightlessness.
But I don't understand. Like, you got to explain this for the people because I don't understand. How does it impregnate women? I mean, you're wearing an outfit. You're wearing. I don't talk to me. I can't understand.
Well,
this.
you can't masturbate with an outfit on. How
you are. You're masturbating without. But what about the next person? Isn't he wearing something? Or she? Is everybody naked? Was it an orgy on the moon?
Listen, self-pleasuring is banned in zero gravity. Amid fears, floating semen could leave female colleagues up the duff. Like, in other words, if you, let's say, I mean, I've only, listen, I can honestly say I've only busted a nut in my pants once. Okay. Once. And this girl gave me a friction dance at Gold Rush in Miami one time. I couldn't even hold back. It was unbelievable, this girl's talents. Okay.
My parents watch the show, so let's not get too
well,
visual.
then you got to tell them to stop watching the show, Mark, because I'm not going to hold back. But
my
that was
mom's
the only
85.
Time. Well, she can handle it then. I'm sure. So, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? That's the only time. So, you're not happening. So you're in this, listen, you're in the space capsule, you I got internet. And that, because if that thing goes, weightlessness, orgasming in weightlessness.
But doesn't it have to go
floating
inside
around?
an orifice? Doesn't it have to go inside an orifice?
Well, that's the thing. It could float around. It could float. It could land on an arm.
It's got to go inside. That's kind of hard, dude.
Yes, let's say one of the female astronauts is sitting there, and she says, "Oh, I'm going to take a break," and the thing just starts to fly across the air and have its tabs attached to her labias.
First of all, I can't go more than 2 days without masturbating, so this wouldn't work for me. So I mean, can you get to the moon in less than 2 days? Oh, can you get anywhere in less than 2 days? If we could do it, I could do it.
Well, I don't know about getting to the moon. You're just in space, but it generally just takes you a few minutes to get into space, a few seconds, under a minute, something like that. But that's embarrassing. I mean, because I don't know if you ever had an orgasm in a pool, because that's funny to watch that float around in a pool. That thing turns into super glue when it hits the chlorine, I think. But at any rate, don't ever get it. If you got hairy legs, if you're ever in a pool and be sure to get it away from you, because it gets in your hair and your legs, you'll never get it out.
Isn't that funny if someone comes out of the pool? What the hell is this on my arm? What, dog? Where are you, dog?
What is this shit? Look, it looks like an amoeba. I don't know. It's like a larvae. It looks like larvae.
Let's get to this next story, because this story was going on a little too long.
Okay.
That's funny. All right. So next story, we have man who feared his wife refused to tell her he had a water bottle stuck in his anus.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you a question. How many days did he have this in his anus before he couldn't tell her? Did he go right away? Did he first put it in there?
No, he didn't go right away. That's the funny thing about this story, because there's notes now. There's a lot of people this happens a lot. People shove shit up their ass, and then
It's
after
only
a
happened to
day
me twice. It was by accident both times.
yeah.
Both times by accident. One was a banana and was a peanut butter jar. But I can explain both of them really quick.
Yeah.
I was eating a banana. I don't want to talk about it. Let's go on to the next thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Well,
happens.
Rich Voss, very funny comic, has a joke. He's like, he told a story about a guy who got an eel caught up his ass. He had an eel caught up his ass. He goes, I could never go to the hospital. An eel, like an eel. He goes,
Oh,
I never
eel.
had
Oh, my God.
an eel. Yeah, like a frozen. He's like, I could never go to the
Yeah.
hospital and go, hey, I got this eel stuck in my ass. The first thing is, oh, there's something wrong with my wrist, doc. There's something wrong with my wrist. And oh, by the way, while we're checking out my wrist, there seems to be something lodged in my ass. Doctors say that a lot of people, that's what happens. They can't admit it. So a lot of problems develop. Like this guy was constipated. His wife was concerned because he wasn't eating. And what's the matter, honey? Oh, it's nothing. Maybe it'll go away in a day. He's doing. I shoved the bottle up my ass. He's not going to tell his wife. So finally, he's embarrassing. He goes in there and it's like, oh, we found a bottle in your ass. Oh, okay. The wife's like,
I mean,
okay.
the bottle was not. There's nothing hanging out. The whole bottle was up his ass.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ben, do we have a photo of that?
That's a trooper. Oh my! How big was it? Was it like a water bottle? Was it a little skinny?
Yeah,
dude, who could put a bottle up their ass? That's impressive.
The man remained quiet about his painful secret due to being filled with embarrassment of fear, of course, according to the
That's gotta
study.
be the worst feeling.
Rectal foreign. There's a number. RFB, rectal foreign body insertions often require emergency and colorectal surgical departments. Patients often experience delay in treatment due to the dishonesty of how something got up there. So.
Yeah, I mean, you always have to make an excuse. There's no way I could say, yeah, I jammed a water bottle up my ass. Why? I don't know. I was bored. I mean,
because there wasn't a tea pitcher. There wasn't like a lemonade pitcher I could shove in there.
And I can't imagine the fear that you have when it first happens. It's like locking yourself out of your car and the keys are. I mean, it's not quite as bad as that, but it's the fact that it happened. Yeah, it is. But it's the fear when you ever close. I get it, But you ever close your car and as you're closing the door, you see the keys and you're locking. You're like, fuck. Yeah. This is gonna be the same way. You jam it up your ass. This is a little more severe. I mean, this is severe. But you jam it up your ass, right? And you're like, it's locked. It's like a pit bull. And I'm sure the more you panic, but what can't you like squeeze your ass cheeks and like make the bottle go down a little bit? I guess the whole bottle's in his ass. I mean,
you try to shit. It's blocking everything. Okay. I mean,
so guys, if you do this again, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help everybody out because I'm not a doctor, but I stayed at a Holiday Inn once. But let me help you out. If you're going to do it, put a lot of lubrication and put a string tied to the bottle in case it goes too far. You can have friends and good friends. They have to be very good friends, okay? Because they're going to have a lot of information on you for the rest of your life. So make sure they're good friends. And you have two buddies, if they could pull a baby out of a woman, they could pull a water bottle of someone's ass.
Yeah.
If you could
it's
pull
like
a
one of those moments.
baby out of a woman.
It's like those moments where people have to lift a car and use human strength to get something out. If your friend gets a bottle shoved up his ass, you need a couple of good friends there that perhaps did some curls in their day to get the shit out. Great point, by the way, Mark. I think that's a lesson. That's a top lesson you're going to learn here on the Hanging with Mark and Dougie show. If you're ever going to shove something up your ass, tie a string to it. Tie a string.
And we're here to help you guys. This show is about education. It's not just political. We're very educational too. And Doug, just so you know, if it happens, you call me, bro. Call me. I got your back, bro.
You're going to fly it all the way to South Carolina to help me dislodge something from my ass?
Come on, man. I need to.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here's a story. Strip club owner, strip club owner says man made off with $22,000 in $1 bills.
Wow.
There he is right there. Wow. He broke into the place. The strip club thought it was a joke. They had that much money in all singles, which must be a cheap strip club because who gives singles anymore? If you really want to, if you want to have sex with a stripper, you got to give her a 20 when she's on stage. That usually is a good way to start that process.
Does that work?
Yeah, I guess. But yes, I've heard that can work. If you give her a 5, you're going to be waiting in the parking lot when everybody's gone. The security's going to go, everybody's left, dude. Sorry.
You're gone.
And she's gone. She said she was going to wait for me.
She said she loved me.
Yeah, she liked me. After she told me she had to pay her rent. It's always
That
that.
was attractive.
I need.
That was very
I need.
hot.
Yeah. Oh,
But you're
not
400
like all the
pounds.
other.
How are you hot? Yeah, but she said it.
Yeah, and you're not like all the other guys. You're an idiot.
All the other guys give me 10. You gave me 100. You're nothing like the other guys.
Yeah, you're nothing. You remember every
Hey,
time you ever go to
you're
certain.
crushing a lot of dreams right now, Doug. You're crushing
Yeah.
a lot of dreams from a lot of guys 50 and over. You're crushing dreams.
That's always been one of the funniest things when you go to a strip club with somebody who hasn't really frequented them often, and you've developed a
She's looking at
proficiency.
me.
Yeah. Oh my God, she's coming back. She likes me. She gave me her number. She gave me her number. That's,
She
it's
wants
great.
to go in the back room with me.
Yeah. She said, and then the other one's like, yeah, man. Well, she gave me your number. Are you going to go out with her? I'm going to come back tomorrow. She's working tomorrow. She asked me to come back here tomorrow. Oh, she didn't ask you to go back to her place? No. She just said to come back here.
I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I was with a friend at the Hard Rock when it first opened up, and there's tons of hookers there, tons. And my buddy, I'm not going to mention his name, but he actually, the girl starts coming up to him. She's like, "Hey, you want to have a good time?" And this and that. And he thought it was just a girl at the Hard Rock. He's like, "Yeah, I'd love to have a good time. Good time's my name." And I'm just looking at this guy like, "You're a fucking idiot, dude." She's wearing 6-inch heels. She's got makeup.
Yeah.
And the pimp is right behind her. Leroy with the fucking cane and the pimp hat's behind her, And I'm like, this is the easiest one yet. And he's like, "Dude, I think I got it here." I say, yeah. Go upstairs and see what happens. You better bring money with you. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
if you have
he
sex
thought
with her, you
in
will
his
get
head
it.
that-
You will get it.
Exactly.
You'll get a drip. You'll get a funny stain in your underwear tomorrow morning.
He thought he had game. He thought his game was strong.
Yeah.
He's like,
Well,
my
that's
game's good today.
God bless those girls, man. They know how to do it.
You know what I
now,
told him? I think it's your medium shirt, and your high water pants. I think that's the one that did it. Pushed you over the top.
Yeah, those Crocs you're wearing. All right, we have a couple stories left real quick. One is I thought this was interesting. This is a video of a recent story that just came out about a young gentleman, black young gentleman named Brandon Calloway, who was chased by police all the way to his house. And this is the video of them chasing him down. He went to his room. He's hiding in the room.
Chased Calloway into an upstairs room where Calloway's attorney said he hid
Turn it up,
behind
Ben.
the couch, and officers began tasing him.
Good job, officers. Great job.
The affidavit from police said the taser had, quote, no effect on Calloway, so they used a baton instead.
Good.
And the fight moves downstairs.
He has no weapon. Why are you chasing him?
Why did you run in the house and evade the police? End the story. You're done.
Why are you fighting the police?
Exactly.
Video then shows what appears to be
You
a
think
sheriff's
wrong?
deputy
You
walking.
should have
Watch
pulled
this.
over.
Watch this. Watch this.
You will
Watch
not,
this.
don't put your hands on me. Do not put your hands on me.
The affidavit picks up saying that the taser and batons both did not work and, quote, Calloway continued to resist arrest, but once in a bedroom.
Get on the ground. There's fight. Look, he's fighting.
Yep.
What are the cops supposed to do? Let him grab a gun? What's
And
going
you
on?
don't even know if he has a weapon. He's in his own house. You don't know if he
He's
has a gun,
fighting
a
it.
knife.
Just even your girlfriend. Stop resisting, stupid.
Just get on the ground.
Yep.
Get on the ground, Brandon. Get on
Yep.
the ground.
Yep.
But
Smart.
while
She's
on the
finally,
ground,
What is the
she's
cop
finally doing the right
supposed to
thing.
do? Seriously.
Now watch this. They
attorney.
say they put it. Look, he tried to put his foot around him, and then the girl freaks out and hits him.
On the head area and the neck.
Now that's the
But
attorney,
Doug,
of course, for the
but
family.
this is the
Trying to
funny thing
spin
about
it.
this, Doug. Okay, we're at the point where you can't even pull over criminals. I mean, all this guy had to do, it's very simple. If a cop pulls me over for going the speed limit and I don't have a warrant,
But you're
I
not
have a
black.
warrant,
Mark.
you
You're
have
not
to kill
black. You're
somebody.
not black, Mark.
Yeah,
You're not
no,
black. You don't get it.
oh,
That's what they're going to
stop
say.
it
You're
with the
not black.
shit.
You're not
Stop,
black.
Stop. We all have struggles, bro. Stop with the black and white bullshit.
I'm
So
just
the
saying.
point
That's
I'm
what people are
getting
going to tell
I know
you.
what you're saying.
Somebody's going to
Yes,
say
I
if it
get
was
it.
you, you wouldn't got
You know what I
pulled
tell
over.
people?
That's
They
what
say
they're
you're
going to
not
say.
black. I say you're not white. Because it's 2022.
Yeah.
If you're not, people tell me you're not black, you're not white. You don't know white people's struggles. We all have struggles.
Yeah.
Everybody has struggles.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I don't know what kind of chlorine to use in my pool. Okay.
No. We all have struggles, bro. We all get depressed. We all have struggles.
Let's
Some people,
let's
a lot
stick
of
to
homeless
this.
white
So
people on the planet.
let's stick to this. The bottom line is the guy evaded. Supposedly he was being pulled over because he was doing like 37 and a 25. Now somebody says that's not a lot, but when you're going that fast in the 25, there's a reason it's a 25. It's probably a residential neighborhood, so you can run over kids and shit. So then again, instead of stopping, okay, it doesn't stop. Maybe I'm scared of police. I'm going to get shot. Okay, so then you get to your house and you run into the house, and then you run upstairs and you try to hide from the cops. Which to me, the guy
One of
must
the
have been
cops
high.
was black. One of the cops was
It-
black
it-
that was
it's
chasing them.
but the
So
thing is to say
it's
is
not a
that
white on black thing.
the thing is to say is like there's like 8 cops doing this. So do you think 8 cops are all going to get enrolled into chasing somebody because of no reason? And then if the kid's fighting
Especially
the cops,
today.
like you started seeing in that video that he's fighting with the cops. What do you expect?
Doug,
You expect the
Doug, can I
cops are
make it
going to
real
try to put
simple?
you in a fucking sleeper, the figure 4? I mean, this is you're going
Doug,
to get
can
an
I make
ass
it real
whooping until you get fucking taken down.
Yes. Yes. I'm going to make this real simple for you, for the whole audience. I'm going to make it real simple. The minute, I don't care if you're going 2 miles over the speed limit. I don't care what it is. The minute that the law is being broken, that they feel it was being broken, he was only going to get a ticket. That's all he was going to get if he didn't murder somebody or didn't have, crimes. But what I'm saying, he probably had crimes. That's probably why he ran. But what I'm saying is, you get pulled over, you get your ticket, and then you fight it if you want to fight it. Okay. When you run into somebody's house, your turf. The cop doesn't know what you have in your house. You can have fucking weapons. You can have knives. You can have guns. You can have fucking throwing stars. You can have
another family member that may shoot at you or the
Yes,
cops.
yes.
There's all kinds
How
of
many cops get
new
killed
levels of
by
risk.
not doing their job correctly? You have to
Yeah.
do your job the way you were trained.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you don't listen, you have to be put down. It's simple. It's simple.
Yeah.
It was simple. He could have went down, and that was it. It was all filmed. It was all
Yeah.
filmed. These cops did a great job. And
Yeah.
what were they supposed to do? Say, listen, sit down and watch TV. When you're calm, we'll talk. When you're calm,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't work
Yeah.
that way. Life doesn't
Yeah.
work that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
You fucked up. The kid should have fucked up. And then they're trying to say that the guy knocked the thing out of her hand. Who knows? And then they're trying to say he stepped on his neck. No, he didn't. I watched the video. He stepped to make sure he wasn't stepping on him to get over the kid. Have like a tripod value to be able to pick the guy up. Come on, enough is enough. And you know what? None of this shit would have happened if, like you said, he pulled over.
didn't
Number
run.
1, 2, didn't fight the cops. Just put his hands behind his back and got on the floor. Okay, so enough of this shit. Now let's.
So let
let's
me
look
ask
at
you a
this
question. What do the liberal America think? Do they think that once he runs to the house, okay, he's in the house. Okay, we got to leave now. Let's go back to
It's
the
like you're
precinct.
playing tag. You're home safe.
Yeah.
I'm at the safe.
Exactly.
touching the
Exactly. So
wall.
what was they supposed to do? Knock on the door
Yeah.
like, excuse me, can Jimmy come out and play? No, it doesn't work that way. You fucking
Yeah.
open the door or you get the door knocked in and you had to deal with consequences. That's what life's about, bro. That's what life's about.
And like you said, we don't know the entire whatever. We don't know if the guys. Who knows? There's a reason why that many cops were chasing him. I can assure you, and it wasn't because he was black. I can assure you that. Not in today's day and age. Our last video. This is a great video. A patron catches a baby as it falls from stories up. And watch the video because, first of all, what's amazing about this story is you watch this video. The baby falls several flights onto an edge of an upper edge. So the baby already fell further, and then the person happens to catch them before they hit the street. Watch this video. Look at the baby. Oh, just looking outside. Well, now who's the kid? Look, the kid's just what kind of fucking kid.
Oh my God.
Somebody let him out. Look.
Oh my God. Someone caught him?
Look, he landed on the edge. Obviously, he's in China. And now the
Oh
kid
my
falls. Oh, and then somebody caught. Look at this guy. Oops. Oh, get him.
Oh
get
my
him.
God. That's crazy.
We can't see it. Cut out.
Oh wow, he escaped that. That's like a Final Destination. Is going to make a movie about that? That's crazy.
Yeah,
wow,
they caught him.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
can you
my
imagine
question
the luck of that kid?
Who is
That's
look?
lucky.
Who's the family member throwing him out the window? Somebody was taking the kid and putting him out the fucking window. Hey, go out and play.
He didn't
you
do that by
little ching-chang.
himself.
It didn't
do that
look
by
like it to
himself?
me. It looked like somebody had him by the arms.
Because Eric Clapton's kid did that. But, Eric Clapton.
Yeah, show it again, dude. Watch. Look.
Oh, there's hands there, isn't there? Yeah, there's another. Oh my. Yeah, there is
How
somebody
far the
throwing him
baby
out.
falls. Kaboom! The baby fell like 4
Wow.
flights.
He's so.
That's the thing
lucky.
about babies.
So
They don't have
lucky.
really hard bones yet. They're all cartilage, so they can
Well, I think
sometimes
the
take a fall like
stoppage, he
that.
didn't fall and hit the ground. He fell and he somehow grabbed the side of the thing. Did he grab it or?
It looked like. Could you imagine the strength in that little kid? How he grabs?
Oh,
Look, he's hanging on a ledge. I don't want the
That's
fall. Catch me.
crazy. Wow.
That kid's going to be in Circus
That
du
is
Soleil.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
That's
That's our.
gonna be the
That's
next
our story.
UFC champion. Listen, I want to do a shout out to the Prez. The Prez came. Got to do a shout out to him. Thank you very much for coming to the Dougie show and Mark show. We appreciate it. I thought he did wonderful. He didn't do enough today for me to vote for him. But I'll tell you what, man, he seems like he's there. He was, he had a couple things with Corn Pop and a couple things, but I don't know, man. He seemed all right.
You seem
What
to
do you
be.
think, Doug?
Would you? I don't know. I've never seen you this nice to the president. Listen, I think the guy's a joke. I mean, come on, he's completely failing on all
we all think
ends.
that.
It's like it's great. The president isn't responsible for gas prices. The gas prices go down. Look who just brought down
Now
the
I'm
gas
responsible.
prices. Now he's got it. Oh, enough already. So fucking stupid.
No, you get to a point with Joe Biden, you get to a point where you know he's a dumbass and you know he can't do anything and you just accept it. It's like, it's like you're with your woman for 20 years. You're like, you know what? She's not the best, but you know what? Fuck it. And not mine.
I don't know
Because
what
mine
you're
is the
talking
best.
about,
You
Mark.
what I'm
I
saying?
know. I don't know. I want to agree with
But
that.
some people say that and they just, there is people out there that have been married 40, 50 years like, oh, this lady, she's an idiot. She's this, but they stay with him. I think Biden is the worst thing ever. He's definitely worse than Carter. And you know what? I think time has changed. Times are going to change. And I think we're going to get a new person in office and everybody's going to be thankful for it. Everybody,
Yeah.
even the
Yeah.
liberals that are crying and screaming at Trump. And I think, I kind of think like you, Doug. I do like Donald Trump, and I think he did a lot of great things. I really do. And I like the way he talked. I actually appreciate the way he talked. I loved it. But I don't
Comical.
think he's right for the country right now because I don't think he could be the president. I don't think they'll let him. And not that
Yeah,
I don't
too much
want him.
shit.
Not that I don't want him because I do want him, but they won't let him be. I'm telling you right now, they will not let Donald Trump be president. They will not
Yeah.
let him be
Well,
president.
that's the whole January 6th is all. That's the whole thing about this January 6th hearing is there's no relevancy or what's the word I'm looking for?
Stupidest
Legitimacy
thing
of
ever.
this whole thing.
January 6th,
It's
the
just trying
dumbest
to,
thing ever.
they're trying to use that word insurrectionist and label them with that to keep them
It's
from
stupid.
running again. It's that simple. So
Yep.
well, that's it, everybody. So we have time today.
Awesome, guys. So everybody, you know what? When you get a chance, man, watch the show, share the show. A lot of funny stuff, a lot of good topics. We had our man in today, man. But tell us what you think either way, whether you like it, you don't like it. We have thick skin. We can handle it. So if you don't like it, go fuck yourself. If you do like it, make a comment.
Yeah,
But if you get a
anyway.
chance, go see Dougie. Where are you going to be, Dougie?
Oh man,
Next
this
show.
Thursday I'm going to be at Patty's Irish Bar in Fayetteville, North Carolina, in the church theater there, headlining. And then on Saturday I'm going to be at the Flat in Greenville, South Carolina, opening for Carlos Valencia, funny comic. Go to DougieAlmeida.com for more dates.
Nice. If you get a chance, go see him. I've seen him many times. Very funny comedian. And me, I'm doing what I did. I actually got lucky about 4 days ago. I bought a box of cards. I had Bill Russell rookie in it, $30,000 card, mixed in with a bunch of common cards I bought. So that was kind of nice. But me, I'm just staying busy and just buying, selling stuff. If you have cards, memorabilia, anything you want, bring it in, man. We'll take a look at it, see what it's worth. We'll show you on the computer what it's worth, and we'll buy it right on the spot. Everybody, enjoy what you do. Peace out, and I hope you enjoyed the show.
Take care.